Hello, my name is Harriet and welcome to Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. Tonight we're going to be working on some wall art to decorate walls at any event. Tonight we're going to be working on the theme for Fortnite for an upcoming Fortnite birthday party. And the celebrant's name is Javik. So we are incorporating his name with Fortnite decorations. Let's get started. We're going to be making a name in the Fortnite theme to put on the wall behind the candy table or the dessert table at a birthday party. And to get started, I already have my pictures along the bottom that I want to use. And if you've seen any of my earlier videos, you know that I always type in high res, free, and whatever it is I'm looking for. In this case, it was high res, free Fortnite for you to download and use on your computer. So I chose 5 of them, and those are the ones that I want to use for this name. Now, the purple one was originally gold, and I didn't want 2 gold ones. I already have 2 shades of blue, so I didn't want 2 gold ones. So I'll show you how I changed this background using my favorite app, Microsoft Picture It. So what I do is I go to Cutout in Pictures, and I choose the first one here, Cutout of Picture, and I'm going to choose here by color selection. This defaults to 2. The higher the number, the more shades of that color it will pull out depending on where you click. But I don't want it to pull out a lot of the colors because he also has on a shade of yellow, shades of yellow, and if I left it on 2, it would start pulling these colors of yellow that I don't want. So when you change it, I'm going to change it to 1, and that will make it more specific to the certain colors that I click on. If I took it all the way down to 0, if I have a white background to take out, I take it all the way down to 0 because it will just take out just the white background and no light shades of gray or any shades that are close to white. So for this one, I'm going to use it on 1, and you'll see as I start clicking, I'm just clicking in the areas that I want to change the color. And you can see it's changing. It's grabbing all these areas for me. I'm going to leave that here because it won't be in my way anyway. So now I have this entire background chosen. I'm going to go to next, and since I want this background, I'm going to leave it like it is and click done. If I wanted him instead of the background, if I wanted, you can use this to cut out a figure from a background. So if I wanted him instead of the background, I would go right here to this bottom selection, and it says select opposite area, and if you click that, it would bring him out, and it would cut out all of this yellow background, and you would just have the character. But I want to change the background, so I'm going to click this back to what it was originally, and it was all the areas that I had originally selected. Now I'm going to hit done, and I have my gold background. So now I'm going to show you how I changed it to change the color. I changed it to purple here, but I'll change it to something else just to show you how it's done. Whenever you want to change a color completely, you need to first make it black and white, because if you don't make it black and white, let's say I wanted to make this purple, it would give me, if I left it like it is and changed it to and tried to change it to purple, it would give me some weird mixed color that would be a purplish gold, which would probably not look very good. So what I do is I first make it black and white. So I'm going to go to Paint and Color Effects. The bottom choice, the last choice, is black and white. I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to click Make Black and White. So now it's taken all the color out of the background. I'm going to hit done. Next, I'm going to go to to Touch Up, Correct Tint, and this is where I can change that background to any tint that I want. But I want it to be a purple, but for just to show you how it's done, I'm going to change it to a green. Well, I'll change it to green. So I would put this in the color closest to what I want it to be, and I take this little slider bar. The more you slide it, the more intense the color becomes. So I like that color, so I'm going to hit done. And then if I wanted to change this to a darker shade of green, I would go to Paint and Color Effects, Change Color. Now these two I use quite a bit. This one says Fill with Solid Color, and if I chose that, I would be able to change it to any of the solid colors. But I want to keep, and you could also change the tints to all the different colors. But I want to keep that the way it was with the little sunburst in there. So I'm going to choose the other one, which is Change Color. And this one just changes the tint, but stays in the color. So I'm going to change this a little more to a darker green, because I'm going to make this like a hunter green. And then this function right here is for brightness and darkness. And if you click up and increase the number, it makes it lighter and lighter. And you could take it all the way up to 100, which would be the brightest, or all the way down to 0, which would be the darkest. So that's not bad. I kind of like that color. But if you wanted it a little lighter, you can bring it up a little. So that would be nice. So that's how you change the background color if you don't want to go with the color that is already there. So I'm going to bring my purple back to the front because that's the color I wanted it. And now we're going to start putting our name together. So what I do is first I want to open a new blank sheet of paper. So I'm going to click on File, New. I want it in portrait mode because I want my letters as tall as I can get them. And I'm going to hit Done. And next I'm going to add text. And I hit right here, which is second choice. And the first box is the Add Text function. And it's already in the font that I like it in, which is Arial Black. When you open it for the first time, it will be in a different font, and all you would do is go to this little arrow and you have all of these different fonts to choose from. And I have quite a few on this installed here, and you can always add more. But this is the one I like to use because it's a nice chunky font that looks really good when you make the name wall art. So I'm going to type you start with the widest letter in the name. So if you had an M or W, those are the widest letters in the alphabet. So you would start with them because you want your letters to fit, to all look uniform. And so if you start with the largest letter and then you use that to make all the other letters, you know that everything will be uniform. And so that's what we're doing here. And since his name is Javik, and the largest or the widest letters in his name are V and the A, I'm going to start with the A just so that I can get my master size for the letters. So now I typed A in the box here, and I'm going to hit Done. So I'm going to keep this in proportion for starters, I'm going to pull on a corner arrow just to get it wide as I can get it. I'm going to scroll out a little bit. You can either use the ball on or the scroll wheel on your mouse to zoom in and zoom out, or you can click here where it has the magnifying glasses and you can make it bigger or smaller here. But it's easy to use the roller wheel on my mouse. So now I have it about as wide as I want it because I want to put a shadow around it once I fill it with the picture that I want in it. And I'm going to just now pull on the bottom and the top. I want to keep it where it still looks like a letter so it doesn't look awkward. So I think about this height is working for now. So now this is the second letter of his name, and now I know what size the rest of my letters will be. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to change this to J so I can start with the first letter. And I'm going to right click on the text box. First, you'll choose it. If it's not chosen, you won't see the little balls around in the square. So I'm going to first click in it to choose it. I'm going to right click and choose Edit Text. and I'm going to change this to a J. So now I know that all my letters will be uniform. So I want to add the first picture of the, let's see, why don't I go with, I think I'll start with the purple character that I made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to cutout and pictures. I'm going to choose the bottom middle selection, which is fill, cutout, or picture. And then I'm going to click on the apple, which is saying I want to fill it with a picture. You have the choice of filling it with the color gradient, but I want to fill it with a picture. So I click the apple, which is fill with a picture, and then I come down here to the bottom, which is kind of like a film strip, and I'm going to pull up the picture that I want to use. Now make sure when you're doing this, you already have open all the pictures you want to use for your letters. Otherwise, you'll have to stop, back out, and open up the pictures you want to use. Just to remind you where I went, we're going to change this to a picture from down here. I'm going to go to Cutout and Pictures. I'm going to go to Fill, Cutout, or Picture. I'm going to click on Picture, which is the apple, and then I'm going to reach down here, left click on the picture that I want to turn this J into, and bring it up. So there it is in the J. You see it instantly takes it inside the letter. It replaces the color that was there. And now I'm just going to shrink this down from any of the corners so that I keep the right proportion. But as you can see, because I squished the A and elongated it, my picture looks elongated because it will the picture will match whatever you're filling it with. And since I squeezed the letter A and the J is all squeezed a bit, I'm going to just change the thickness of my character to make him go back to the correct proportion. So I'm just dragging out a little until he looks the size that he's supposed to. And then I'm going to slowly bring the corner in so that I can get more of him in my picture. And let's see, I don't want the white, I want it to be the full letter. So make sure you don't bring it in too much because it will start cutting off your letter. So just bring it until you see that it's filled the whole picture. Now that's my J. I'm going to hit done. Thank you for watching part 1 of my tutorial on wall art for parties. Check back very soon for part 2. Please remember to hit the like button and also subscribe. And if you'd like to see my videos as soon as I post them, hit the bell next to the subscribe button. Once again, this is Harriet with Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. Thank you.